Hey guys, next chapter of Framed is chapter 26, Black Tuesday. Here we go. Epic is one of Margaret's favorite words. It's also a good way to describe the scope of the grounding my parents gave me after Agent Rivers drove us home and told them what happened. I made a point of explaining to Margaret's mom and dad how I'd put her in an impossible situation, and Marcus followed up by pointing out that she was the one who had saved the day, so we were able to help her a little, but my world was limited to the campus of Alice Deal Middle School and the walls of my house for as far as the eye could see. And while at home, the computer was limited only to its role in helping with homework, and the television was banished, as though Philo T. Farnsworth had never invented it. And I totally deserved the punishment, every bit of it. The one exception was that I was allowed to keep participating in after-school activities. Suddenly, I became the most active member in student council history, volunteering for any subcommittee or planning board I could get on. 2 weeks after our little adventure to Romania, I came out of an oversight committee that considered possible changes in the school dress code. Like I said, I volunteered for everything, and was surprised to see my dad waiting for me in front of the school. "What's wrong? Mom's worried I'm having too much fun on my walk home?" I joked as I got in the car. "Worse," he said, a serious look on his face. "There's been a new development. The story broke, all of it. A writer at the Post published it online about 2 hours ago. TV News jumped on board, and now it's a circus." "I don't understand. What story?" "They're reporting that woman with parasol was stolen and claiming the FBI and National Gallery kept it a secret out of embarrassment. Nicolae Navrescu was identified as the prime suspect." He turned to look at me, "and there have been mentions that a boy has been part of the investigation." "Did they use my name?" "Not yet," he said, "but there are many bigger parts of the story right now. It's really going to cause problems for Agent Rivers." "It'll put pressure on Navrescu, too," I said. "One of the news stations ambushed him outside his construction company," said Dad. "There was a lot of shouting and yelling." When I got home, the television and computer bans were temporarily lifted so that we could watch the story unfold. Margaret came over and joined Dad and me. "How'd the story even get out?" I asked as we watched a reporter do a live update from the sidewalk in front of the museum. "It's like I told you," Margaret replied. "Nothing stays secret in Washington." As far as names, the only ones mentioned much were Marcus Rivers as the agent in charge and Nicolae Navrescu as the prime suspect. A few reporters revealed that there may have been involvement in the crime by museum staff, but no one referred directly to Serena Miller or Earl Jackson. Oliver Hobbs, however, was all over the news, not as a suspect, but as someone to be interviewed. We saw him on the 2 national broadcasts as an industry expert with a working knowledge of the situation. "I bet he's your leak right there," said Dad. "Oliver? He's always had a shady side." "But why would he leak the story?" asked Margaret. "I'm sure he's getting pressure from the insurance company," Dad said. "They probably think the FBI is moving too slowly and wanted to put them in the hot seat." "My company was against keeping the theft a secret right from the beginning," Hobbs said during his interview. "We believe that the best policy is total honesty with the public. But the FBI insisted that we were forced into silence." "That's pretty harsh," interjected Margaret. "And why do you think the FBI kept it a secret?" asked the interviewer. "Isn't it obvious?" said Hobbs. "They don't want the public to know how much they've messed up." When Mom got home from work, she gave us behind-the-scenes account of the National Gallery. Everyone was running around crazy, she said. Reporters kept trying to come inside with their television crews. Serena Miller went in for a closed-door meeting with the director that lasted over an hour. Eventually, my boss came into our studio and told us to leave early and not speak to the press. Does anyone there know that you already knew? Mom shook her head. I'm good at keeping secrets. I played dumb like everybody else. As far as my participation, a few reporters mentioned a rumor about a kid being involved, but it seemed so far-fetched and strange that no one gave it much thought. I had my fingers crossed that things would stay that way. Wait a second, said Margaret, holding her hands up to signal stop. Where's Pavel Novak? In the Czech Republic, I said, unsure what she was going for. No, I don't mean where is he on the planet. I mean, where is he in the story, she asked. He's the one person that we definitely know is involved in the crime, and no one has mentioned his name. That's true, I said. They must not know, said Dad. Whoever leaked the story must not know about Novak's involvement. Then it's not Hobbs, I said. He's known from the beginning. Then who could it be? Margaret asked, thinking out loud. Oh no, said Mom. This does not look good. We looked over to her and she was glued to the monitor. What's the matter? I asked. Marcus is in trouble. We all quieted and turned up the volume and listened as a news anchor held up a piece of paper and began to read from it. According to this statement from Nebraska's attorney, the businessman categorically denies any involvement, she said. In a troubling twist, there are reports Special Agent Marcus Rivers may have entered the Romanian embassy under a false identity 2 weeks ago. The anchor next to her shook his head as though this was an earth-shattering development. If that's true, it would be a clear violation of international law, said the anchor. I'm sure the State Department will be getting involved now. I couldn't believe it. On top of everything else, Marcus was going to get in trouble because of something I did. It was my fault, and he was going to pay the price. They're going to fire him, aren't they? I said. It's going to cost him his career. You may be right, said Dad. Then Mom reached over and put her hand on my shoulder. Unless you solve it first. Seriously, I said. Mom and Dad shared a look for a moment, and then both of them turned to me. There is a temporary uplifting of the restriction within the confines of the underground, just downstairs. You can't talk to anyone. You can't go anywhere. We don't need to go anywhere. The TV's bringing it all to us. I looked right at Margaret. This is our test. Are you ready? Ready to take it? Ready to crush it. That's it for today.